I'm so excited. I get excited when I see people's face. All right,
It's
you
way
got
better than phone. Yes.
earphones on. Trying to be professional, make sure there's no echoes and everything. So first, hey Desi. So first, I want to make sure everyone could hear me, and then that you could hear Natasha. Natasha, speak up a little bit.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Let me know if you can hear both of us. Just say yep, yep. If you cannot hear either one of us, just do hashtag WTW, what the what. Okay, so let me know. Good morning, Princess. Okay, so yes and yes. Cool. Thank you. So you guys, one thing or a couple of things. One, remember there is a little bit of a delay. So keep in mind that as we're going through this, hold on real quick. Sorry, you guys. Princess doesn't like when I cough. If I cough, she leaves the room. It makes me mad. But anyways, you guys just keep in mind that there's a little bit of a delay. So today I'm bringing on Natasha. I'll do an introduction in a minute, but just make sure you have your earphones on. If you're at work, just keep it going. It'll be a lot of information that you're getting today. There will be a replay. I'll put it everywhere, YouTube, Facebook. It'll be in the group, all of that kind of stuff. But today is all about sales. Well, soulful sales. Let me say it that way. You got to say it the way, they instruct you to say it. But I'm bringing on not only someone that I adore and that I admire for her skills. Let me tell y'all, I have seen her close rooms like that, like not even a question. And so she's someone I look up to because I think in sales, you have to have integrity and you have to speak from your heart and you really have to connect with people. You guys know I'm not a salesy person. I like giving value. So I look to Natasha for ways to sell, ways to have those conversations with clients and not feel like I'm trying to push something on someone. And not only do I admire her, but she's a friend. So we call each other a lot, but we can't talk because we never have time. So we schedule in Slack, and then we finally have our times, like on Friday when we spoke for an hour and a half. And she just had some great information that I really wanted her to share with you. So I am just going to do an intro. I'm going to turn it over to Natasha, and then I'm going to be in the comments area answering your questions. But please show her some respect, give her some comments, some questions. So this is somebody, remember I told you there's two people I go to for advice, and I go to her for advice all of the time. So I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna let her take over. Natasha, it's all you. I can't hear you anymore.
There you go. Can you hear me now? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. We're all good.
Okay, you can see my screen as well, right?
Right now I can see you. Let me just look and see in the Facebook group because I see a different view, just making sure.
I did a screen share.
A little bit of a delay.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep, we see your screen.
And do you see the PowerPoint, the 3 ways?
Ladies, I'm going to depend on you that can see in the group. You see the PowerPoint? We're just making sure that everybody else can.
I'm messaging them. Exactly. I know it's a little delay.
Okay. Everybody put hashtag desktop. If you can see her desktop, that will help us because we don't know when the yeses are coming in. No PowerPoint, no PowerPoint. So make sure you click on the turn screen share on. I don't see it either. Turn screen share on, and then select your desktop. If you've already done that, stop it and start it one more time.
Okay, now stop it. And I'll start it one more time.
Thank y'all for inputting, you guys. This helps us make sure that you're getting all the information. So still no screen share. Let me
do it again. I turned it off. I'm turning it back on now.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone should be able to see it.
I think it's coming. Yep, that's it. I'm going to mute myself. Take it over.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited. I'll take notes.
And I'll toggle back and forth. Hi. And I'll toggle back and forth to make sure that if you have any questions as I go through this presentation, definitely ask your questions, okay? I love questions, especially on the spot questions. This webinar is for you. Okay, so the time that we are here together today, it's all about you receiving this information. You are bosses. You are entrepreneurs and business owners who are, I would think, without you telling me, thank you. I would think without you telling me, you're in business because you love what you do. You're in business because you want to make an impact. You're in business because you want to make a difference. And you know that it's equally important, as much as you are serving people, helping people, giving them breakthroughs, giving them insights, whatever it is that your business solves the problem with, you want to know without a shadow of a doubt that it can make money for you. Why? Because if your business is not making you money, then all you have is a glorified hobby. That's something someone wants to write down. If your business is not making you money, and I'm not talking about chump change. I'm not talking about the kind of thing that pays a bill. I'm talking about the type of money that allows you to have a lifestyle that inspires you, that takes care of your bills and can take care of your wants as well. So I call it soulful selling. And today we're going to talk about the 3 keys that you can use every time you are operating in your business to convert conversations into clients. Because as I tell my clients, if you're not selling, you're not serving. And if you're not serving and people aren't buying your services, then you're not really in business. And if you're all about the pink boss, if you're all about this group, this tribe, then I know that you want to put yourself in a position where you are profitable, bringing in revenue on a consistent basis. And more importantly, you're doing it in your own way, in your style. So for the next 45 minutes, just sit tight with me. If you have questions, I am going to go back and to see if there's any questions that are coming through. But this is who it's for. This particular webinar, I designed it for you because you are either a professional who has a full-time job, but you are oh so ready to quit this job and really launch your business forward. Or you are a new entrepreneur anywhere from $0 to $100,000. Maybe you're even very seasoned in business and you've already broke through the 6-figure mark, but you are kind of coasting along, and you know in order to get to your next level that you have to change either your pricing, your packaging, something around your brand, and more importantly, the way you sell, the way you operate and sell. Okay? Now, this is what I like to talk about. Wouldn't it be a relief if you actually knew what to say? When somebody was asking about your services, if they're interested in engaging with you, if they ask you how much do you charge for what you offer, wouldn't you like to just know what the heck to say and do it in a way where it felt like you didn't have to be slimy or sleazy or sound like someone you're not? Just be your simple self, where you had no fear, meaning non-negotiable fear, no doubt at all. And you simply just felt good, like the boss that you are. You simply felt good about who you are. You felt good about your offers, your pricing, your packages. And you knew that you were enough for who needs you next. And all you had to do was have a conversation with them where you didn't have to convince, you didn't have to coerce, you didn't have to do anything else but be yourself and share what you offer. That's what we're talking about today. You see, traditional sales tells you to do it a certain way. They tell you to fake it till you make it. They tell you to be someone you're not, to be aggressive when you might be mild-mannered, to be mild-mannered when you might be aggressive. I mean, can you imagine if Nina was mild-mannered and passive, where she wasn't being herself? Then she wouldn't be able to provide the resources so powerfully that she does to this tribe. So I want to just really impress upon you today to simply be yourself. My goal today, one of my goals anyway, is to equip you with the knowledge of how to do that effectively and how to do that in a way where it's going to pique the curiosity of your ideal client and where it's going to inspire them that if your services are a fit or your product or your programs are a fit for what they need, the natural byproduct is that they buy. That's what I'm here to talk to you about today, and also to give you some language, some things that you can actually say and do to be able to enroll them and increase your conversions. But the first step is to know that you don't have to be anybody else but you in order to be successful, however you deem success. You don't need to be anybody but you in order to fill your programs and your packages. You don't have to be anybody but you in order to make what I call your bottom line, whatever that income goal is for the end of the month, the middle of the year, the end of the year. The only thing is you have to develop the skill of how to sell and bring in those conversations and close people into their new experience. Some people call it closing deals. I don't, because I don't see people as deals. I see them as partners, but you want to know how to close them into an experience where they can do deeper work with you, where they can go further. That's what we're talking about today. Because oftentimes this is what we all look like, myself included, before I tried and took on this philosophy around soulful selling. And if you don't believe me, there is a picture of what I used to look like on Monday morning, looking at my to-do list, looking at the fact that I had consultations on the books, but I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't inspired about it. I had a little fear around it because I didn't want to come off as a salesperson. I didn't want people to think that I was just in it for the money. I didn't want them to think that I was only selling something because I was looking for my personal gain. And we've all been there, where you're really concerned about what other people are thinking, or you want to make sure that who you are gets across the first time, that your intention and what you're putting out there is heard, is seen, and is understood. And so when I tell you that I understand, I've been there, I mean it. I have been there. And in my opinion, I have discovered and have honed in how to do sales differently, how to do it in a way that feels good, that's healthy for your business, healthy for your bank account, and you walk away feeling clean because you know you didn't take someone for a ride delivering on something you couldn't promise. So here's just a little bit about me, just a little smidget, ladies and gentlemen, about me, my why. Why in the world do I get up and do this thing, especially on the days when I don't feel like it? And it's because, and if you haven't identified your why, then use this as an example for you to kind of dig a little deep into why you are actually in business. Some people think it's for the money. I say money is the natural byproduct of what happens when you do good work in the world. I started my business because I wanted to be free. I wanted to be able to call my own shots, wake up when I finished sleeping, travel wherever I wanted to, buy organic food at the drop of a dime and I had to think twice about it, have someone else clean my home because I didn't enjoy doing it. I wanted to be able to do the things that were important to me. I wanted to be able to tie to causes just because, like write a check because I was inspired to, because I believed in it and it just felt good. I didn't want to have to wait. I didn't want to have to lean on someone else to dictate how I could fulfill my own dreams. And I knew that one of the ways to do that was through owning my own business. And just to kind of let everyone know, I've been in business for over 15 years full time. 15 years. And over those 15 years, I've only had one job in that 15-year period, and that lasted for 4 months. So trust me when I tell you, you can lean into this conversation. I've practiced this, I've studied it. It's approved, not only because it works for me, but literally the thousands of individuals and partners that I have taught this work to, that have used these tools, and more importantly, have gotten results. So it's one of those things that when I get into these 3 tips, if you use it, if you work it, it will work for you. It's kind of like law. There's no respect of persons. If you use it, it will work for you. And if you follow the system exactly as it is and just fold it into your natural style and your personality, then you are a boss and you are truly winning. So here's just a couple pictures of my family. They really inspire me to, get up and take that consistent action when I don't feel like it, because we all go through it. Days when you're just not wanting to be, fully in your strength, fully operating at your best. And so I remember my grandmother. She's the one in the white and blue. My grandmother, Edith, she's 85 years young now. And if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen, and maybe you saw that I did a recent Facebook Live with her. She taught me to keep my back straight no matter what, whether I was feeling confident, feeling doubtful, in fear, or in lack, no matter what, to not let it show up when I show up. To keep my back straight, to walk forward, keep my head up high. And I have to tell you, being in business for 15 years, that has taken me so far, because sometimes your customers and your clients will just sign up to work with you just because of your posture, just because of your energy, just because there's something about you that's unique that they like and they want to be around it. Trust me when I tell you, I'm going to give you these 3 nuggets, but I'm already dropping them if you're really paying attention. Sometimes who you are is enough before the what you do and the packages and the programs. Some people will just sign up because it's you. They just want to be around you. They like what you offer. They like how you inspire them. They like what you do for them. Keep that in mind. My grandmother taught me that. Now to the left in pink, My mother, she teaches me so many things. And I'll be talking about my upcoming live event that's happening this Thursday in just a few moments. But my mother, one of the things that she taught me was you don't tell people that you care because no one cares. You show them that you care. And one of the reasons why I've been able to be in business this long, over 15 years, and sustain it even when times have been turbulent, is because I show my customers that I care. And they believe me because I show them with action. And your reputation will precede any service that you have, any branding that you have out there, anything that you put out online or in person. Your reputation, your integrity will far surpass any of those things. You can always have grace. You can always have redemption, because if your name really demonstrates what you say, that you back it up, you show people that you care, you don't just tell them, you will have a following that will outlast. Even for so many people, you might rebrand after a few years, it'll outlast your brand. Trust me when I tell you. These are keys to converting conversations into clients far beyond a typical sales conversation. To the right, where I'm in the yellow, you see that little girl, her name is my angel. That's my daughter. She is my biggest why ever, because I want her to know that no matter what, she always has options. She's never, ever in a position where she has to be limited or been told that she's limited. And so I make sure that I'm operating as a demonstration for her around that. And then below her, in the pink, where I'm in the blue with the yellow little flower in my head, that is my sister, my baby sister, Zakia. She is amazing. She acts as our online business manager. She provides all of the graphics for our company as well. She designed this PowerPoint presentation. And most importantly, she now has just recently launched her own services as well. As a result of doing work in our company, she was able to foster her own gifts and talents. And so one of the things that I love most is I believe in lifting as we climb. So people are always learning and developing their own skills because of the work that we do. So remember that as you're building your business, people are watching you, whether you know it or not. They're being inspired by you. They're being impacted by you. And sometimes a customer that may come to you and say no now doesn't mean that they're going to say no always. So keep in mind, there's going to be short-term sales, and there's also that long-range money as well. And we're going to be talking more about that. And then to the right, in the black with the cool glasses on and the hat, is my beloved father, William Erickson Houghton. He recently made his transition this past December, and I am definitely working through that. One of the things, though, that makes me really proud and happy is something that he said to me shortly before his passing. And he said, Natasha, when you make a decision, make it swift. And that has been the theme of my entire year, to make a decision, to draw a line in the sand and be non-negotiable around bullshit, around things that no longer serve me, around relationships that might be energy draining. So as I'm sharing this with you, you might be saying, okay, so where's these 3 keys at? I'm giving them to you, and I'm going to enhance them in just a moment around some other things. But see, the soul of who you are comes before the sale of what you do. I'm going to repeat that. The soul of who you are comes before the sale of what you do. What does that mean exactly? Well, really simply, I remember coming from a place where I had no income, and I needed to quickly build my business up because I just started a family. And I remember not knowing if I had enough skill to do that, or my packages were, if they were perfect enough, or if the market can bear them, and all this other stuff that people were telling me. And instead of following what everyone else was saying, I finally set my butt down long enough, journaled and meditated. And I just went inside and asked, what is it that I want to produce? What is it that I want to offer? What is it that I feel like I could solve in the marketplace that no one else can do the way I do it? And what I heard was, teach people how to enroll from the soul, instead of enrolling from their doubt, instead of enrolling from bartering, instead of enrolling from fear. And when I heard that, that is when, my father's advice really took shape. I made a decision. I drew a line in the sand. I stopped following bright and shiny objects. I stopped listening to a whole lot of people, even folks that were making more money than me. And I just leaned into what I desired. And I went with that. And within 8 months, I generated $84,000 of new income in business. And by the close of that year, for the first time ever, I closed out at $106,000 by making a decision and making it swift, and focusing only on the thing that I desired to do, and offering just very little things that I thought that my ideal client would want. So when I tell you to focus on your why, to get really clear about the fact that you are someone that is here to serve, you can do that and then make the sales on the back end. In fact, the sale is the byproduct of it. It starts with the mindset first, which is what I've been talking to you about so far, and then the skill set. So if you're taking any notes, it starts with the mindset first and then the skill set. Because the truth of the matter is, sales is the heartbeat of every single business. And if you're feeling what I'm sharing so far, just go ahead and type a quick message and let me know that you are resonating with what I'm saying, that it makes sense to you, that this is on point. Talk to me, okay? I really want to know, because this feels like a one-way conversation, but I want to hear from you, at least through you going ahead and typing it out. And I know that this is a little delayed, but I'll go back and look at it in just a moment.
So let me jump in here right now, because I know you've been giving a lot of nuggets, and I know some people are sitting at their desk at work. Some people are watching it directly. I want anyone who's hearing this message to type #mindset, because what she just said is golden, and it's something that literally I picked up in the last couple months. So I want you guys to really listen to what she just said, #mindset. She said mindset first, then the skills, right? This is different than what you've been learning. Take all these classes and things like that. And she just explained to you how she went to 106,000 in 1 year. And the first time she did that, she's not talking about this year. She's talking about the first time. So that was a while ago. So I want you guys to really get into this. Let's make sure that she knows that we are listening. So I see a couple #mindsets. Queena, Charlene, this is helping me. Great word. Sales is the heartbeat of every single business. That's Gary. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all continue.
Awesome. Yeah. You give me energy, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give it back 1,000-fold. And I'm glad that you are resonating with this, because guess what? This is what's gonna help you endure in business. See, there's that short-term money and there's that long-term money. I like both. Money is green, and I love it all around me every single day. And what I'm talking to you about is going to give you the opportunity to give yourself a pay raise anytime you freaking feel like it. And that is the most empowering feeling on the planet. And I mean it, because think about it. You got problems at home. You got challenges in your life. Some people are dealing with life challenges, health challenges, emotional challenges, whatever it is. Did you know that more than 90% of your problems you can write off with a good check? Did you hear me? More than 90% of your problems you can write off with a good check. But if your mindset is funky and you're not feeling good about yourself, and you're not feeling that you have something to contribute and give, and more importantly, that you have a conversation in your own mouth that can communicate what you came to offer people, and you're not able to do that in a way where they can hear it, where they can see, feel, and imagine it. Write that down. See, feel, and imagine is the quickest way to increase your conversions. You want to paint a picture to your ideal client about what you offer by showing them through the actual seeing, feeling, and imagining. And I'll go more into that in just a moment. The key, though, is if you feel funky, then your sales offers are going to be funky. And that is the quickest way to plummet and to not be able to enroll people. So yes, your mindset alignment is number one. Again, the soul of who you are before the sale of what you do. It has proven time and time again. And that story that I just shared with you, when I said I enrolled $106,000 worth of new business into my company, that was back in 2006. That following year, I doubled that within less than a year by following these same principles. All I did was use myself as my first client. And the only reason why I am still winning in business is because I remember that no matter how big I think my company is or how much money I think we generate, I stay close to basics. I keep it basic. I follow the basics. I follow the foundational principles. And anytime I want to get creative and derail from it, guess what? The universe slaps me upside the head and it shows up in my bottom line. It shows up in my revenue, because this thing is so simple that we can get smart and overcomplicate it. The truth is, sales is the heartbeat of every business. Without it, you do not have a business. It's equally as important as being incorporated and being able to receive income. Everything else supports the sales, the marketing, the back end systems, all of those things. But it is the heartbeat, Because if you don't have technology working on your side, if you don't have a website, whatever those, marketing collateral pieces are, you have a conversation. You can talk to an ideal client within 20 minutes right now and enroll a new customer. That's how powerful this is. So I don't want you to undermine it at all, okay? At all. Key number one. Now, I know you're watching and I know you're listening. And if you're in your office and you can't speak out loud, just whisper it to yourself. But I do want you to say it. Key number one says what? Lead with service. Says what? Lead with service. Let me tell you how powerful this is. I get so passionate when I talk about this. This is going to create for you repeat customers. I still have customers that come back to me after I've been in business for over 15 years. I told you that. I still have customers that come back to me from year one in business. As I grow and evolve, as I shift brands, as I enhance my packages and programs, they still come back because they remember that I focused on serving them, not selling them. It goes so far. Traditional sales tells you to lead with selling. It's all about the transaction. It's all about the one call close. Even in Atlanta, we have this commercial by this attorney, Ken Nugent. He says, one call, that's all. And that's BS because when you call them, it's a peak interest call. It's an intake call. They get all of your details and information, and then they turn around and call you back. Then they close you into some type of experience or something. But it's not a one call anything. When you lead with service, which is the way that we teach it in our Soulful sales community, then it's all about the relationship. Relationships will outlast a transaction. Relationships will have someone invest in working with you, meaning that they buy from you. And it's not about the pricing. It's not about the fact that it might be quote unquote costly or expensive because they want to stay in relationship with you. They will figure out a way on how to do that. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. Think about your own experience. How many times have you invested in something, whether it was emotional or logical, because you wanted to be in relationship with that person? You wanted it to last beyond that particular conversation. Selling is really just a conversation. It just has many parts. And the parts that oftentimes get people stuck is they're not clear that the intention of the conversation is from this place. So listen to me as I explain it. The intention is that you are asking questions for the sole purpose of listening and hearing what they need and only sharing the answer or the solution that fulfills that immediate need. You got to hear me. I'm going to say it again. The sole purpose of the conversation is to ask questions. And your job is to listen without an agenda. So that when you respond, you are only responding to the solution of what they need.
I got to jump in for this one.
Jump, girl.
I'm just going to tell you, because we always learn, you listen so you can figure out how to sell to them, right? And people think that they're calling you to interview you so you can sell them something. And the thing is, she just explained, she didn't say listen to sell them something because that's where it ends up feeling sleazy. You're listening to see what they need, and then you provide what they need. And the other part of that is if they don't need that, you can't provide it. And so she's giving you a lot of, it's different from what you hear about these people, sell. Everything is about the sale. But she's explaining to you, you have to listen to what they need and you have to provide what they need. It's what they need. And the first thing she said was listen. So you don't go in like, oh, I'm going to sell them this package and that package. Sometimes you may not have a package, but you can still help them, right? So listen to what she's saying.
Girl, let me tell you.
I'm going to fall back.
This is good. Jump in when you need to. It doesn't bother me at all. I love it. Because now I can feed off of that for a second. Let me tell you how powerful this is. This is so powerful when you are asking questions and you are focused on providing a solution without your agenda, meaning, are they going to buy? Is this going to help pay this bill? Oh my goodness, I need to fulfill this quota. Whatever that crap is that you say in your head. When you really focus on asking questions to listen, and the person really knows that you are sincere and you mean them well. Let me share with you something that I did. I do this all the time, by the way, but this is one story that comes to mind. I wanted to host my first retreat. This was a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I wanted to host my first retreat. I wanted it to be around a $2,000 price point. So meaning every person that enrolls into it would be about $2,000. And I wanted to host something that was really beautiful, where women and men could fly in, they could spend 3 or 4 days with me. I could spoil them like crazy, meaning I could have hire a chef that could feed them breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I wanted to bring in my massage therapist that can provide massage therapy treatment. I wanted to focus on radical forgiveness, because I know that when I can help you pull out the gunk and the crap that's inside your mind and in your heart, it just frees you up for more money to come through. And I know that. And then I wanted to be able to create an experience where we can definitely do, hardcore sales conversations. We can practice it, we can role play it, and then I can help the individuals design a business plan around their income goals for that year. And that's all I knew. That's all I knew was what I wanted to do. I didn't know where, I didn't have a date, I didn't know what kind of support I would need. I just knew I had this desire. And so I called up a client that I had served about a year ago. And I said, I had this idea and I want to run it by you. Can you give me your feedback? And all I did was share with her the very thing that I shared with you. And I said, but I have a couple questions. Is this something that you would want? She said, yes. And instead of me saying, okay, great, and trying to enroll her, because that's not my system and what I teach, I said, tell me about what I shared. I'm giving you a big nugget right now. Tell me about what I shared. With what I shared, what resonated with you? What spoke to you? What perked you up? What got you interested? And she told me, and I took notes on everything she said, the exact way she said it. And I said, if I were to turn around and make an offer to you, and your offer said, and I just repeated the very thing she said, the way she said it, would that be something that you would want? She said, yes. I said, well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about charging I'm thinking about pricing it rather at $2,000 for a 3 or 4 day experience with me. Would that be something you would be interested in? She said yes. And I was totally transparent and totally honest, the only way that I know to be. I said, but I'm not sure if it's going to cover all of my costs yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the research now and get an event manager to kind of help me out with the research. I'm going to see if I can do it at a $2,000 price point. But if it's a little bit more than that, would you still be interested? She said yes. Can you hear that I'm making an offer on a program that hasn't even been formulated yet? Just because I did the very thing that I'm offering to you to do, I asked questions, I listened intently, and then I turned around and gave my client the very thing she said she wanted without it even being formed. And I do this all the time because I want my customers to know that we are creating a partnership, that my whole job is to serve them and to give them exactly what they need so they get their next step in business. While we're focusing on the short term, I'm already thinking about their long term, but I'm going to check in with them all along to make sure they're getting what they need.
And so I want to bring this point in for everyone. Listen to what she's saying. She's using different terminology, but this is exactly what I tell you about online sales. She went to her current client, remember ICA, the person that she knows has already purchased from her and already knows her, and asked them what they thought about it. She used the same terminology, and then she was able to sell a program she hasn't created. Does that sound familiar? I do the same process. So she's taking that and applying it to sales. And that's how you're not sleazy. You're giving them exactly what they need. I'm going to go ahead and fall back one more time.
Boom. So let me just tell you what that looked like in business. I wound up being able to keep it at $2,000 for her because I honored the fact that she was a past client. Okay. So I honored that she was a past client. I came back to her and I said, for you, we're going to keep it at $2,000. She gave me $1,000 as a deposit. And that was my evidence that I needed to have to go forward with the event. So I went forward with the event and enrolled 8 people into it. 8 people into that experience. That entire, from the retreat to the upsells that I did later, that brought in $30,000 worth of business. From the retreat itself to the offers that I made to the ladies that came, over time, that brought in $30,000. It didn't all happen at the retreat because I didn't make an offer at the retreat. I just wanted them to experience the service delivery. But post the event, I follow up and did calls with them, one-on-one, 30-minute calls. And that whole entire experience was about 30,000, not about, it was exactly 30,000 worth of book business and maybe $4,000 worth of out-of-pocket costs for me. Can you see how this works? Soulful selling is the only way to go, in my opinion, if you're wanting to do business in a way that's clean, ethical, and integrity, that feels good, but also gets you paid, makes business sense because it makes dollars and cents. All right, y'all getting these nuggets? And this is how you do it. If you hear what I said, this is the synopsis, because I made it about them and I didn't make it about me. So as you are listening, as you are running and operating your business, please, the best thing you can do is to stop making it about you. Make it about them. Especially when you feel you could be doing it better. You feel like you can be doing it different. You feel like you can be doing things, from another level. Of course you can. There's always a better way to do things. There's always an enhancement. Even for myself, my back end systems could use improving, but guess what? As I am improving them and continuously improving them, I'm still enough for who needs me next. I'm still enough for my next client. The services still work. The programs still provide results as we are a work in progress. So don't take yourself out of the game because you think, oh, your website's not what it needs to be, or you're this or you're that. Get out of that, because all that is doing is keeping you stuck, hidden, and it's keeping you away from making money. It's keeping you away from really helping people, and it's keeping you away from being able to do the things that you want to do in your life. Remember, you can write most of your problems off with a check. When you are bringing in revenue, you can take a slice of that revenue, set it aside for your business investments. You can set it aside to hire someone to do the things that you hate to do, don't like to do, or are not good at. But when you make it about them, they will come to you and they will stick with you every time. So here's a tip, okay? Ask yourself if what you offer is a direct solution to their problem. Now, the key is it has to be clear. You can't flounder around this. It has to be crystal clear. For example, when you work with Nina, do you walk away feeling like a boss? Meaning, do you feel like a person of dominion? Do you feel like a person that is superior over anybody else or any thoughts that you may have? Do you now have tools on how to implement and get things done? If that's a clear yes or a clear no, then you know that you're leading with service. It can't be anything where you're floundering. When you work with me, do you walk away feeling good about having selling conversations and you invite them in? That's a clear yes. When you work with me, do you know how to take your 0 conversions and raise them to 50% or higher? That's a clear yes. You follow me? That's what you want. You want to be able to look at what you do and ask if it's a direct solution to their problem. I'm moving on. Key number 2. Know your value. This is where you want to repeat it after me. Either whisper if you're at your job. I'm going to call that your journey on to your next breakthrough. Know your value. This is my favorite section. And I'm going to just, before I go into it, I'm going to interrupt it with a quick update. November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, here in Atlanta, Georgia, is our upcoming Enroll from the Soul live experience. And what is that? It's 3 days of heaven on earth. This is where I'm going to be teaching this stuff for 3 days, customized to every single person that's going to be in the room. It's here in Atlanta, Georgia. In fact, Nina Thomas, our very own Nina, is our workflow expert. She has helped me so much in my business behind the scenes when it comes to our workflow. And so I couldn't think of anybody better to bring to you, but have Nina there that's going to talk about systems that will set you free as it relates to your workflow. Now, for 3 days, we're going to focus on your selling personality style, which is what I'm going to get into in just a moment. And if anyone is interested at all in being at our event, our registration actually is going to close by tomorrow morning at noon because it's Thursday and we want to make sure we're prepared for everybody. All you have to do is go to enrollfromthesoullive.com. Nina, do you mind typing that in the comment section, please? Okay, great.
Let me just say, because this is the second time I'm coming, and last time I was able to be a part of portions of it, and I was able to speak at it. And let me just tell you that it was one thing that Natasha did tell me when we were working on her last event is she wants it to be an experience. She doesn't want it to be a conference. She doesn't want it to be something that people attend. It's actually an experience. And she was really, really adamant about that. And so one of the things I want to make sure people know is that it is an experience. It's like you get close to people, you laugh, you cry, you share your stories, but at the end you come out like a boss. And so I'm super excited about this weekend and spending time. We spent some after time after. It was really something that really connected me to Natasha. So I just wanted to make sure that I put that in there because Natasha likes having experiences, y'all. So you got to come this is your family, old school family reunion, ready to have an experience. All right, I'll let you go.
Let me tell you why. It's the truth. I told you already, I've been in business for 15 years. So I've been to many trainings. Oh my God. Not just in the United States, overseas as well. And one thing that I know about experiences, when you have an experience, it's now yours and it lasts for maybe forever. For some people, definitely for a couple years. And it's something that you take with you. A lot of times workshops and conferences and trainings, once you leave the environment, once you leave the room, you go back home to your life. Life happens. Your spouse starts arguing with you. Something that you didn't expect to happen happens. And before you know it, it felt like a motivational event and you're no longer motivated. You forget half of what you learned and you're not even implementing 10%, not even 5% of what you came to get. So when you have an experience, it becomes a part of you. You take it with you and you have tools that no matter what happens, you know how to shape shift. You know how to bend and weave. And most importantly, you know how to have selling conversations to shift your financial outlook. So yes, on day one, we focus on the self, which is the top of what I was kind of teaching about this morning to all of you or this afternoon, wherever you are watching this. That we focus on the self because once I have you in a place where you are non-negotiable, you can make decisions that are clear and powerful, and you have tools to support you emotionally, that support you physically, then now I can pour into you how to do this sales thing in a way where you do it like with no problem. But we got to focus on you first. So on day one, we actually have two things that I'm bringing differently than my last event. The first thing is I'm bringing my chiropractor, who's also a massage therapist, and his team to the event. And then we have an area called our wellness room. In our wellness room, we're going to be offering to everyone chair and full body massages during our breaks and during our lunches so that you can get into a place where whatever is showing up for you emotionally, whether it's, a physical thing or an emotional thing, you can get that worked out in the wellness room. And then you can come back into the event room and then I can do the training piece. That's number one. The second thing that I'm most excited about is our mental health section, because we're in business for ourselves, right? And we're also a lot of times in business by ourselves. And for so many of you, I know I dealt with this, you're suffering in silence, whether it's anxiety, whether it's stress, whether it's, not sleeping well, whether it's overstuffing yourself with sex or food. We all are dealing with some level of imbalance or trying to get back to balance while we're trying to be about our business. And so I'm bringing in professional therapists, counselors, and psychotherapists, and we're going to do a panel discussion. And I'm so excited about this because, again, I have on my desk right now this young lady. Maybe you can see this, I'm not sure, but it says from freedom. Oh, you can't see it because you're looking at my screen. It says from anxiety to freedom. And she's one of our panel members that's going to talk about how to release anxiety. If you have a speaking engagement, a sales conversation, shoot, you just woke up this morning, you didn't feel good. What are the tools that you can do that you can have on a regular basis so it doesn't interrupt your money? I've been there. I've made multiple six figures and went back down to no figures because I didn't have the tools on how to sustain it when I got that big in my company. And I had to figure it out. And so if I can support you in avoiding that, going through that mess, that dark night of the soul, as I like to call it, then I'm going to give you the tools so that you can be equipped. And that is what we are offering on day one. Day two is where we get into this section right here, know your value. Actually, the afternoon of day one, we get into this section, know your value. This is all about your unique selling personality style. So if you're writing anything down, write this down. The way you know your value as it relates to sales conversations is to know your natural selling style. And yours is unique to anyone else. You see, I don't have a problem being upfront and talking bottom line, but there's someone else who they may be more mild-mannered. They may be more behind the scenes. Nina's the type of person who's very upfront in your face. She's very decisive. She moves extremely fast. And if you're not with her, then you're kind of catching her fumes. And then there's someone else that they're very research-driven. They're very introspective. They are perfectionists by nature. There's different styles. I have identified 4 that are universally, I would say, the majority of the people on the planet. So I've identified 4 styles and I liken them to the elements of nature: air, fire, water, and earth. And I help you to identify what your natural style is so that you focus on it as a strength and it's not the thing that keeps you out of business or the thing that has you undercut yourself or barter or trade or discount when you don't feel like it. And oftentimes when you don't know your style, you don't know your strength and you don't even know to catch it because you don't have that knowledge. And so at the live event, we're going to be going through this in a very cool and fun way. It has to be cool and fun, or it's not going to stick for you. So we go through it in a very cool and easy way so that you can identify that piece of knowledge that you have. And then it's really easy for you to see your value. And it really, really helps when you're having selling conversations and you're in a position where you're tempted to discount because you think, oh, if I discount it, then they'll buy. Or if I discount it, they'll really see my value. They'll really know that I want to help them and I'm willing to work with them. When all you're doing is creating a high maintenance client. Did you hear me? All you're doing is training them to be a high maintenance client. When you know your value and you know your natural style, you then know how to focus on your strengths to minimize your blind spots. And this is a key piece to what I teach when it comes to having these selling conversations, knowing who you are. And then I flip it, knowing their buying style. Because you may have a selling style, but they have a buying style. Do you need to be a little less aggressive when you're talking about the money part, when you're making the offer? Because they may feel fire hosed. They may feel like you're talking above them. Do you need to bring it down a little bit? Do you need to speak with more inspiration and more partnership in your conversation because they need to feel included in the offer? Like, what is that? And without knowing it, it is a definite way why I notice a lot of people, they're affected when it comes to their conversions. They don't know what they don't know until today. So here's a quick tip. If you don't know your value, ask them, meaning your ideal customer. And it's not that they have your answers, because quite frankly, only you have your answers. So hear me when I say that. But they can give you a clue into what they need to hear from you to stay open to the conversation. So again, I'm going to read what it says right here on the screen. When you don't know your value, you begin to compare yourselves to others. And we've all done it. Even I've done it. And doubt creeps in, and you know it's a game changer when doubt creeps in. There's nowhere to go but down. And when you lack clarity on the value you provide. And so I'm all about you feeling clear, confident, and knowing how to have cash flow conversations. Here's a quick case study of a client of mine, Loretta Love Huff. You can find her online. She's a speaker and a leadership coach. And when I taught her these sales personality styles, the 4 that I was just mentioning, that I'm also going to be teaching at the event, when I taught her this, she was able to enroll 6 clients from a speaking engagement. Now, here's what's really cool about that. This speaking engagement that she had only had an attendance of 10 people. 10 people were in attendance, and she closed 60% of the room by knowing their styles, because she was able to identify who were the airs in the room, who were the fires, the waters, and the earth. Meaning, out of those 4, what is it that she needed to say to speak into their listening? What is it that she needed to say to keep them open to the conversation? What is it that she needed to say to draw them in ethically before she made her offer? And see, sometimes we always think, or are taught that it's about how many people you have access to, how big your list is, or how big your tribe is, your following. Yes, that is important, and it does have its place. But you could start from ground zero. She was at a speaking engagement with 10 people, made over $1,000 offer, and was able to enroll 60% of that room. That's pretty powerful. And with my strategies, I tell you what to do with the remainder of the people who don't buy on the spot. You see how good this is? Enroll from thesoullive.com. If you're interested, the registration is only $297. That's it. It's $297. It gives you access to 3 full days with me and my amazing team and this training. And what our commitment and intention is that you walk away having your own sales script in your own language that you are ready to make and have selling conversations. In fact, we do a lot of role playing in the room because I want to hear what you're saying. I want to see your body language. I want to see how aligned you are or not with your offer and your price points. And I want to course correct it in the room on the spot. Because I know, as my mother taught me, if you don't do it at home, You're not going to do it out on the street. So if you don't do it in our event room, you're not going to go out and do it. And I want to know as a coach that I've equipped you with what you needed to be able to go out there and represent for yourself and your business and enroll clients with ease, the Soulful Selling Way. So again, enrollfromthesoullive.com. Registration closes tomorrow at 12 noon. And if you have a question, you can post it here in the group. If you're interested in the event, but you have questions, you can direct message me or just post it again here in the comment section. Happy to answer your questions. Either myself or one of my team members will do it. Let's move on to key number 3. Key number 3 is simple.
Hold on real quick. I just want to make sure that who in the room is in here from Atlanta? Just put hashtag Atlanta if you're in Atlanta this weekend. If you're in areas close to Atlanta, do hashtag and wherever you're from. If you're not in the area and you're not able to attend, but you want to make sure that you don't miss the next time, I do want you to just put hashtag I wish I could. Okay, I wish I could, because I want to make sure Natasha's able to connect with you after, and she can see who, so next time you guys can get more advanced notice of the event. So if you're in Atlanta, hashtag Atlanta. If you are in surrounding areas and can make it and can drive, hashtag wherever you're from. If you're from California and won't be able to make it, I want you to do a hashtag I wish I could. And then that way she can follow up with you. So Charlene is in Atlanta. Thank you, Charlene. So then that way she can follow up with you when the next event comes, because Natasha and I will be doing a lot together. I have a session scheduled with her as well. So I just want to see where everybody is. Okay, so Elise, Queena. Okay, so go ahead, Natasha. I'll let you continue. I just want to make sure we see who's in the room and who's actually close to Atlanta.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, if you are, I'm looking at the live stream at the same time on my phone. I love technology. So yes, I see quite a few that are saying, I wish I could. Okay, awesome. So here's what I can offer to you, though I wish I could. So the first thing is go to my website, Natasha Allrich. Nina can type that in for me if you don't mind. NatashaAllrich.com. Just my name. It's a quick one-page opt-in. And what you're going to do is you're going to opt in and you're going to get an audio training from me. It's on the 5 keys to have soulful selling conversations. Okay. It's an audio training. This will automatically allow me to be able to keep you posted on things that we're doing. That's the first thing. Okay. Just opt in and get that. It's real easy, real quick. The second thing is, for those of you who will not be able to attend, we are going to have what we call our backstage pass. So that means you get to kind of get a sneak peek behind the scenes of what's going on. And I will be dropping nuggets for those of you who sign up for the backstage pass. So I'll make sure I post about that in here. And those of you who opt into NatashaAllrich.com, you'll get access to that as well. Now, for those of you who are in Atlanta, if you're in Atlanta, you automatically, obviously you can come, or if you're in driving distance, I've had people take a megabus from New York City a day before the event just to get there. So it's really about your desire and if it's a fit for you right now. You know that, okay? So if it is, just keep it real, let me know, and I'm happy to, like I said, communicate with you to make sure it's a fit. That's the third thing. And then the last thing, if you are local or in driving distance, I am going to be doing a event in December. It's just a give. This is my contribution back because we've had an amazing business year, an amazing revenue generating year. And anyone that knows me, you know that I'm a really big giver. I really do stand behind what I say. I really am who I say that I am. And so it's a give back. We're kind of working out the dates now. See, I'm telling you that I work out things and then I sell it later, right? Or I sell things as I'm working it out. But this is going to be a give back. It's going to be an event that I'm just contributing back to the marketplace, to business owners and entrepreneurs, because I really want you to be set up properly going into 2018. So we'll keep you posted all about that and all the other cool things that Nina and I are going to be doing, because our partnership and friendship is strong and we're really excited about some of the things we're going to pour into you over the next year. All right, let's go to key number 3. Y'all with me? Key number 3 says what? You got to say it out loud or whisper it to yourself. Ask for the sale. Say it again. Ask for the sale. One more time. Ask for the sale. Listen, nothing happens until a sale is made. Nothing. It's just a great conversation. Sometimes just a motivational moment, but nothing happens because you don't have evidence. I don't get excited until there is a point of sale that comes through my inbox to tell me that that conversation turned into evidence where I can now serve that person. Can you hear that? Nothing happens until a sale is made. Oftentimes you think it's what you do and all of that. And I've been telling you all along in this webinar, it's not what you say that speaks loud. It's how you feel. It's what you think about and how you show up. Some people are just going to want to be around you, follow you, pay whatever they need to pay to be next to you just because it's you. Just because they feel like when they're around you, it inspires them, it lights them up. They can get things done. They move faster. There's something that happens when they're around you. And that, my friend, it'll take you, let's say, for example, you do offer a service and it's subpar. That'll have them help you enhance that package because they'll give you the answers on what they need. You can rework it, give it back to them again, and redeem yourself because the relationship was intact. I hope you can hear that. That's a game changer. Here's a quick testimonial of a client of mine, April Chapman. She's a wellness coach. And when she first came to me, she was charging $75 an hour for her services. And we had one session. That's all she needed at that time. We had one session together. And by the time we were finished, I took her same package, just repackaged her program. I set it up in a way that it spoke to her ideal client. And then I showed her how to have the conversation. And literally that same day, she had a scheduled discovery session on her books. She took that same package that we reworked and was able to enroll a client into her package for $1,200, where she was charging $75 an hour. Not only did she feel good and clean, she was able to then see the value of her services because she asked for the sale and she spoke into their listening. Nothing happens until a sale is made. So here's the tip for you. Be clear on your intention when having an enrollment conversation. You know, the thing that really helped me when I got out of the mindset about not wanting to be seen as a salesperson, because I'm really clear, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a sales trainer, those types of things, even though I do train you how to sell. I wanted to make sure that I didn't lose the intention and the focus, because if the sale isn't happening, then I know the money isn't being made. If the money's not being made, I can't serve people, right? Because then what did I say at the top of this training? All you have is a glorified hobby. So you want to be intentional, and it's okay to be intentional that if this conversation, if this person is a fit for what I offer, and if who they are is a fit for what, if who they are and the needs that they have is a fit for my offer, then my natural right and byproduct and my job is to share it with them. It's okay to be intentional. And guess what? It's more okay for you to tell people. Meaning, if you and I were having a conversation right now and you came to me and you asked me about my services, Natasha, tell me about your programs, your packages, tell me about what you sell, how much do you charge and all of that. Number one, I wouldn't answer your question in that way. That's not the way I train people to answer. I would respond differently. I would respond by asking a question so I can find out exactly what you need. And remember, I would share from the need only because I want to speak into your listening. Again, I want to speak into your listening. Okay. That's the way to win at this game. And I will tell you straight up that real talk, that if what I'm offering, if in our conversation, I think that I have a resource or something that could be a benefit to you, then I will be happy to share that with you. Is that okay? So basically I'm telling you what I'm going to do. And then I'm checking in by asking, because I want to make sure that you are giving me permission to make you an offer if it's a fit. Can you hear that? I'm going to say it again and slow it down. Can you hear that? Does this make sense? I'm going to listen and ask you questions. And I'm also going to say your name is Jane. So Jane, as we have this conversation, I'm going to listen for, what you're needing and answer any questions you have. And if I think I have a resource that could be helpful, something that I think can benefit you, because I work in business, in your business, you insert the part that you do. Would it be okay if I share that with you? What that is doing is giving you full range, 100% permission to share your offer, AKA sell, AKA enroll them. You see the difference between that and selling already? It's in the conversation. Did you get that, Nina?
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
Oh, Chandra, you're in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. Awesome. So we'll be in touch for sure. Here's a quick tip. At the end, when you're going to make your offer and you're trying to figure out a way to transition because you just did a whole lot of fact sharing or listening or questioning, here's a quick transition question you can ask. Would you like to know what working together could look like? Oh my goodness, some of you your conversions will change just if you do this. And don't overthink this step. I'm telling you. And
I
if you do,
like that. That's visualization. That's something that I've been working on lately. Is a lot of visualization, and it works, y'all. But anyways, I never thought about that. Actually, helping them see how it's gonna look working with you. Let me write that down. All right, I'm gonna let you go.
I'm telling you, if you make money from this webinar and you get more customers, I need you to circle back and post it in this group, because I'm giving you some really, really clear, tactical, practical things that work. This is not something I doubt. I might doubt a whole lot of things, like, can I lose 10 pounds in the next 15 days? Can I not eat late at night when I'm trying to get to my event and fit my dress?
I doubt a lot, but not my coins, right? I don't doubt my coins.
I might doubt some things, but this, non-negotiable. I'm really clear. It works if you work it. So if you get clients and make money from this, circle back and let us know, okay? Would you like to know what working together could look like? And there's a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff that if you're at the event, I'll train you on why this is a magic question and why it works so beautifully. And it also works for every selling style, by the way. So in a lot of my scripts and templates that I create for my customers, certain things, certain questions, I design it so it fits all styles. Others, I will modify a word or two so it fits that particular person's style, because it has to be in integrity. I think we don't even have to go through another testimonial. You get the point. You see that it works, right? For so many of you, you're already putting comments in here. Oh, thanks, Elise. Yes, this is fire. The ultimate key is to invest in you. And as long as you're in business, you're going to always be investing on some level, whether it's emotionally, whether it's physically, whether it's financially, whether it's time, whether it's energy. Sometimes it's going to be money. Whatever it is, just know, as long as you are in business for yourself, as long as you are an entrepreneur, as long as you are a boss, as long as you are co-creating your destiny, you will always, always have to invest in yourself. It's as simple as drinking water. I invest in myself today by drinking water. Why? So it keeps me hydrated, keeps my mind clear. I can stay focused. I can stay in the flow. You're always going to be investing in yourself. So another mindset key is to know that it never ends. And that is one of the reasons why you got to be bringing in money. You got to manifest money, because as you bring it in, you could take a percentage of it and you could set it aside for your business growth. You could set it aside for your business investments. You can set it aside for your personal savings. You could set it aside for your healthcare. Then it doesn't matter if you have somebody's, marketplace savings or whatever. You are creating it. You are co-creating your destiny. And there's nothing else more empowering to know that you're in a position that you put yourself there to do it and you have the tools to do it. The thing with sales is it will outlast your business. It will outlast your brand. It's a skill set that you'll have forever. So if you want to change careers, you want to change your name, whatever it is, you still have the skill set of sales. And that's why it's a powerful investment to always know to make. And I always say, go to the trainer or go to the coach or go to the person you resonate with. I know not everybody's meant to work with me, and I'm totally okay with that. I only want the people that are called to work with me, because that's where I can be 100% myself, fully authentic, and I can bring it right the first time. This is not where you need to also look at how to fit the mold of your ideal client. No, you become your ideal client, and then you attract more of the same. Can y'all hear that? That's the ultimate key. So I've talked to you about the Enroll from the Soul live experience. All you have to do is go to the website if you're interested, enrollfromthesoullive.com. That's a quick and easy way to get you registered. If you go ahead and take the step to register yourself, guess what you're going to get? The first thing is a phone call. You're going to get a phone call from us because we want to know who you are. We want to know about your business. We want to know what challenges you're facing right now. And we want to know, more importantly, your intentions, where you want to go and grow over the next year. That's going to help me customize the content through our experience in 3 days. Big stuff, big deal. The next thing that you're going to receive as well is one of our bonuses. It's an actual training that I do on how to really abolish your fear around sales. And you're going to get that as well. I think I have that. Yep. Our sales visualization guide. It's something that I offer to all of you that register for the event, because I already want you to come in having some sense of my culture, having some sense of, the business culture, and having some sense of the mindset that you need to walk in the door with, which is basically just to let yourself receive. This is where I get to pour into you. You get to sit back and receive and connect with other like-minded souls. What else do I want to say about that? Day 2, I didn't talk about day 2. Day 2, we're going to have our own content creator. And if none of you know what a content creator is, this particular person, some people might think that he's a videographer, but he's not, and he hates that term. And I now understand why. His name is James Schiller Paul. He's our content creator. He's going to be talking to you about how to generate ideal client leads using photography, infographics, and video. And it's very powerful because right now, that's what we're doing. That's what's out there. People want to see you. They want to experience you. They want to get a taste of you. And I know for myself, I resisted video so much. Oh my goodness. And photography too, because I didn't want to make it about me. I resisted it so much.
And live stream. Don't leave that out.
Oh, wait. Girl, tell the truth. You shame the devil. I was like, sweaty palms, sweaty armpits around live stream. And it's crazy because I'm a speaker. Like I've spoken to thousands and thousands of people in one room.
Right.
Somehow the internet, the screen, looking at the green dot like I'm doing right now, looking at this green dot versus a person, it felt different. And I had to shift my relationship with visibility. I had to shift my relationship with exposing myself in that way. And I was willing to do it because I followed my own key number one. I led with service instead of my fear. I went back to my own basics and I asked for help. See, these same 3 tools for sales works in life. I went back and led with service, and then I used key number 3 and I asked for help. Nina helped me. Our day 2 speaker, James Paul, helped me. So many people, my team, Zakia helped me. I am not standing alone. When you see me and you see all of this, it's not because I'm standing alone doing it. I made the decision. It starts with you. But then I made it swift by asking for help from those who don't have that issue. You see, we're all a work in progress, but it doesn't take away from your expertise. It doesn't devalue you as a person that came to bring something of value. All you have to do is know what your strengths are, and you work on your blind spots along the way. And thank God I got over myself because we're able to reach more people. We're able to serve more people. And it feels darn good, if I must say so myself. I love it now. You see, you can't stop me. So as we wrap up, let's end on this one. As we wrap up, I want you to all, if you don't mind, in the comment section, just name or identify one thing that you're walking away with from this webinar. Just one thing. Because Nina and I are definitely looking at how we can make our partnership stronger and what specific things we can bring to you that we're going to be planning over the next 2 months around. So what's one thing that you are walking away with today that's different, or a reminder or an enhancement to, since you came here to spend time with us? I mean, we have over 12 viewers here still. So since you came here to spend time with us together today, I'd love to hear all of you just chime in, or watch all of you chime in through this webinar, and just go ahead and put what's one thing you walked away with.
Okay, so y'all, you know, I pay attention to Natasha, and one of the things that, and Natasha, can you stop your presentation for a second, and we'll put the link in here. Enroll from the Soul Live. Let me make sure I spelled that right, .com. Okay, so one of the things that Natasha taught me is that I'm fire, and we do, I always call her, she's one of my, I have a lot of people around me I call Soulful because I love that they're soulful, they envision things. And the thing is, the last couple months, I've been, you know, listening to what they said and putting it into place. And Natasha's like, oh my goodness. So one of the things I want to make sure that everybody does, Natasha has just given us a gift, and she's taught you a lot just in this webinar. And we do realize that some people are just going to take action today. Some are going to take action later, but I really want you guys to today write what you've taken away from this. And I'm going to tell you why. Like Natasha said, her and I are going to be doing a lot next year. We have a schedule. We have different things planned because, you know, we talk about marketing online, having your sales conversations. And it's funny because we fit like this. There's things that she's good at. There's things that I'm good at. And for some reason, we could fill in the gaps. And so by you putting comments in here and letting us know what you walked away with and what resonated with you, we're going to do exactly what she said. Everything that she talked to us about, we're going to take that information and make sure we develop courses around you. And even if you aren't able to attend this experience, we'll come back and we'll make sure the next experience that she can incorporate that. So one of the things, enroll from the soullive.com, even if you are considering going, I would like you to at least go look at the page and see if Natasha resonates with you. And I would like you to go to NatashaAllrich.com and sign up for her items that she explained earlier, the audio that helps you have those conversations. So right now, go ahead and put in there what you took away from today. And I'm going to start reading some out loud. Natasha, jump in and let me know your thoughts on what they appreciated. So let me see. So Elise started with working together. Janza, and then James chimed in. Hey, Mr. Content Creator. I really like James. Anyways, Janza, she said lead with service. Corey says to be me, which is all about leading with service. It looks like leading with service is something that's resonating with people. Anissa said don't discount. That creates a high maintenance client. Oh, let me tell you. I remember I used to lead with that. These are my prices, but I'm gonna discount it for you. So yeah. We're gonna talk about that another day. Do not make it about me, but about them. Y'all know my thing. It's not about you at all. Shonda says, know your value. Woo-hoo. That was like number 2 there. Elise said, it is important to know who I am and how I am to others. How to use my natural sales and sharing voice. Ooh, I like that. Mm-hmm. So, Natasha, we have a lot of things that people have taken away today. Awesome. Is there any, I want to make sure you have your moment to kind of close and let everybody know how they can find you, how they can register for this weekend. I'm excited about this weekend, you guys. You don't even know. Not like fake excited, like you're, it's going to someone's event and you have to, I'm like really excited because not only am I speaking, this time I actually get to go through the whole experience. And actually, I'm going to be there taking notes alongside everyone else in preparation for my one-on-one that's coming later this year. So this is something that I actually believe in. I've seen it work. I've seen what she's done, and I actually see her character. And that's most important to me, is that she does exactly what she says. She leads with service.
I'm excited. Okay. For a fire, which usually fire people can't do, there's a little echo.
Oh, let me mute myself so I can listen.
It's okay. Usually fire people can't sit still because they already see the end while I'm still in the beginning. They're like, come on, Natasha, let's get to the end already. So this is going to be really great to have you and a couple others that are going to be there that are fire folks. Learning this style and this training. I'm excited about it for us as well. And then what we compile together, post this event, because now you would have been totally immersed in the Soulful Sales community. So it'll make our partnership that much easier as well. But for those of you who've been hanging tight with us here at this webinar, first of all, I want to thank you. And you should definitely thank yourself for taking the time to invest your time to be here. And secondly, I want to say, the water is warm over here. And I teach you how to swim the long haul. I teach you how to do this in a way where it feels good, not slimy or sleazy, and it gives you the results. So you already know, first step is to go to NatashaAllrich.com and opt in to get the 5 ways to soulfully sell. That's going to give you the tools on how to do this. I go a little bit more deeper than what I did today in today's training. Secondly, if you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area or in driving distance, or none of that matters to you, the distance, because you know how to get from place A to place B and you want to be in their environment, you want to be in their room, you want to receive this training, you want us to work together one-on-one for 3 days and you can make it work in your schedule, then just simply go to enrollfromthesoullive.com. Okay, do that for sure. And again, remember that you will have a one-on-one conversation with either myself or one of my team members right after you register so that we can get you prepared and we can learn more about you. And then we also are going to be releasing our Backstage Pass information very shortly. So we'll go ahead and post that back in the group in the next couple days. So those of you who can't be in attendance with us, but you want to see what's happening behind the scenes and you want some of these tips and jewels that I'm going to drop, once you register for that, you'll have access to it. Now, as I close, it sounds like a lot of people really resonated with all of the tips, especially, but the one that I hear overarching the most is giving yourself permission to be your own self, your best self, your first self. And in that is your value, and in that is how you serve and all those things. And if that is what you walked away with the most, then I say kudos to you, because you just saved yourself a lot of time, pain, and agony. it took me so long to get to that place. You know, that first year that I made 6 figures and then doubled it the next year, I didn't get to tell you the story, but, you know, maybe at another time, I ended up losing it in year 3 because I thought I was going to be building $1 million business. That was my goal. If I could do, you know, over $250,000 in a calendar year, then I must be ready to build that 7-figure business. But I wasn't able to. I didn't have certain things in place, and my mindset wasn't in a space to receive it. And so I wound up losing it. And then the following years when I reclaimed my multiple 6-figure income, and we have been setting sail ever since. And that was back in 2009. Because that one tenet, I forgot it. I forgot that I don't have to be ever anyone but me. That I am enough for who needs me next. So as I close this out, I want to remind you as well. You are enough for who needs you next. There's nothing to apologize for, and there's nothing to improve because you are enough. So go get your next. Take great care, everybody, and thanks for being here. Bye-bye for now.